Rock, baby! Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by Bet365. We've got Bailey and Rudo coming to you on a Friday. It's a mailbag day. We're going to be answering all of your questions set in either on Twitter or in the Die Hard Discord. Thank you for submitting all of your questions. A lot of fun ones today, a lot of interesting ones. I think it'll be a good show that we'll talk about a little bit of everything on. We'll do the Discord questions first. If you want to get priority on things like this, consider becoming a DNVR diehard. Sign up for that. Help support us. Get access to Bailey just dropped a new article. If you want to go read that, go check that out. AJ's always dropping cool stuff on there too. So lots of good stuff. Go jump in, become a diehard, and get access to the Discord. All right. Tiff, you're in charge. What's the first question I have to answer today? This one coming from Onyx in the Discord. What has been the most surprising to you in the NHL season, both positive and negative?
You want to go first for this one?
Sure. Maybe this was just me not being in tune with things. I didn't think Calgary was going to be this bad.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thought they were good by any stretch of the imagination, but this is like disaster class level stuff from Calgary to be as bad as they've been this year. And I know they just beat Buffalo the other night, but they're still the worst team in the NHL. It's honestly fascinating. All of Canada outside of Montreal has kind of played below expectations this year. Yeah. So it might be another year of a couples Canada. I don't know. We'll see.
If they can keep up with that whole funny storyline narrative, I mean, I'll grab the popcorn.
Yeah, true. Same.
That's fine by me. I think for me, the biggest surprise was how many of the young guys have been leading.
Yeah, true. The next gen breakout for sure.
Yeah, that's been, I think, a pleasant surprise for me too. Because I mean, you've got a Nathan McKinnon and a Connor McDavid that are always kind of leading the charge, but that for it, like seeing a Macklin Celebrini, a Connor Bedard, a Leo Carlsson break into that top 5, top 10 at this point in the season has been, it's kind of fun, kind of setting that standard for what's to come down the road. The new Connor McDavids or Nathan McKinnons once they eventually leave. Yeah. I don't know.
I would jump off of that, especially with Leo Carlsson and the Anaheim Ducks. I think one of the most pleasant surprises to me, and I know they've like fallen off a little bit after their wicked hot start, but you look at some of these other hot start teams like Utah that aren't keeping up with the team like Anaheim, who their offseason felt a little weird at times, but you know, you make moves like Chris Kreider and then you start like this and you think, maybe they knew what was up. Maybe they had an idea of what they were doing.
Maybe this isn't as much of a surprise to them as it was to everybody else.
Exactly. That's the two big ones for me. I don't know that I would say anything about the Avs is super surprising. I guess just how good Victor Olofsson has been, maybe. And you know, no one was expecting them to have one regulation loss at this point in the season, but I think we knew they were a good team.
I think for me, the power play is kind of the one.
Yeah, fair.
For me is, I don't know how many different times I can say it, but again, how they went out of the playoffs last year.
You figured it'd be a point of emphasis for sure.
Right.
Emphasis.
And so seeing how back and forth production has been, I think, has been a bit of a surprising point for me.
All right. I think next question. Whatever we've got in the bag. I mean, we got a lot in the bag. Lobster Magnet, which implosion has been the most fun to watch? Toronto or St. Louis?
I think it depends on what direction you're looking at it from. Yeah. But like from a central standpoint, I think St. Louis. absolutely. But from like a hockey fan standpoint, like for the vibe at this point, I don't know. Toronto's kind of in. I know my boyfriend and I talk about this all the time, and he's like, he loves watching the Steve Dangle videos and whatever, and I love seeing that market kind of fall off of a cliff.
From a selfish divisional rival standpoint, definitely St. Louis. But from a like actual watching the hockey, St. Louis implosion is like, oh, their goaltending just is bad.
Yeah.
It's not all that interesting.
It's not necessarily like a skater issue.
Watching Toronto melt down defensively on a nightly basis leads to a lot more highlights that are fun to watch.
Yep.
I'd say I feel bad, but I don't feel bad for Toronto fans. You know what you signed up for at this point with this team. You knew what was coming. Yeah, I'll go with Toronto. I think is a more fun implosion if that's the way we're looking at it. Next one. What Av would be the best baseball player from our boy Eddie?
I don't know why my first instinctual answers here was one of Yoel Kiviranta or Parker Kelly. Like,
sure.
Just, like Parker Kelly especially.
He'd just work really hard at it and get really good at it because he works too hard.
I don't know. That's probably my answer. Is it like Parker Kelly?
My two thoughts were Ross Colton, just because I feel like I see him swing at pucks in the air all the time. And then Gabe Landeskog, you could specifically bring in to bunt because he's good with the tips.
Yeah. No, Ross Colton, you know, the mustache thing that he's got going too kind of puts him in like a weird baseball player territory.
Yeah, the baseball mustache for sure. I see it. Although the cop-out answer is always like, oh, Scott Wedgwood could probably be a catcher.
Yeah. No, that's such an easy answer. Yeah, that is
I agree.
such an easy answer.
I gave real answers.
Yeah, no. Ross Colton's a sneaky one. I like that.
All right. Sometimes I get a lucky answer.
But I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of these guys in the room that like you've got a couple that are like they could play other sports. Not many. I don't know as though I'd put Val Nichushkin in a category for any other sport, but there's a couple that I'm like, they're very athletic.
Yeah, athletes at the highest level are athletes at the highest level. Right. Obviously, there's nuances to every sport that you have to learn certain skills, but their just base level of ability is going to be fairly high, no matter what sport you put them in.
Right.
I think we have one more locked from Discord, then we have a couple more that you guys got in late that we'll get to. What is your favorite butt rock band? I have a question. Is Breaking Benjamin butt rock? That could still be butt rock. Then I'll go with that.
I would absolutely put that. My mom used to love Breaking Benjamin. Oh God. I think of some of the I feel like Nickelback's such a talk about cop-out answers.
That is the poster child of butt rock for sure.
But I think of a Three Doors Down.
Yeah.
That's probably my answer for that. I used to love Three Doors Down, and I'm saying this as like a 10-year-old child who used to be obsessed with Three Doors Down.
Can you name any other song than Kryptonite from Three Doors Down?
Oh God. Yes. You put me on the spot there. The only reason I say that is because Kryptonite used to be our announcement song in
really?
5th grade.
That's funny.
And so I went in there and everybody's like, what the heck is this song? And I'm like, this is Three Doors Down. Like I grew up on this. Oh God, you're putting me on the spot now. Get back to me later.
Okay.
And I'll have a million different answers for you.
Creed is a great butt rock choice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like a lot of lame music, I imagine. So it's right up my alley. We have a couple more from the Discord here, like I mentioned, that came in late. Charger Co. Probably I won't be able to answer this, but Bailey can in Curious how Gabe is feeling. Is he hurting after each game and just pushing through it, or is he feeling good?
Gabe's feeling great. We talk with it. He's probably one of the people we talk to most in that locker room. I mean, you guys see the pressers that we get from the room, and just seeing vibes are high in that room anyway. But with a Gabe Landeskog return, he's coming off of every game feeling, I think, the best that he's felt in years. I mean, obviously he's kind of in the same boat with a lot of other players that he thinks there's another level to his game, which is a fantastic problem to have on a team like this. But no, he's not hurting. He's taking off days when he needs to. He was out on the ice with his son the other day and was feeling great with that. I don't know as though, given what he's gone through the last couple of years, that he could feel any better.
I mean, I think it showed in last game too, right?
Yeah.
Not that he's perfect or anything, but some of those power moves to the net front, he's clearly feeling strong. So
hockey IQ is exactly where it needs to be. He's performing, I think, to our expectations given everything. But as far as pain goes, given conversations I've had with him, I can't say as though there is much that's bothering him right now.
Yeah, I would like his hands to be a little better, but it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
G-Berg says, a lot of these young teams are still in the playoff picture. Which one or multiple has actual staying power this season? And who, if any, do y'all think can jump into the upper tier of NHL teams over the next 2 to 3 seasons? We had talked about some of those young teams a little bit. I don't know that any of them have the staying power this year. Some of them will probably sneak into the playoffs, but I think we're probably still a couple seasons away from these teams really becoming those perennial challenging teams. Chicago's certainly not there yet. I don't think Anaheim is as good as they've shown in the early portion of this season. They may squeak into a playoff spot because the Pacific is terrible, but I don't know that they're legit yet. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Is Utah a young team? Can we even call Utah a young team? I don't think they're that young.
I think they're, like, if you're talking, like, they're an elder young team. I don't know, on that, like, top echelon of it. Like, they're young, but they're kind of teetering on that seesaw.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're in their
moderately
they're
aged.
tweens. I don't know that any of them are legit yet. I think I like where Anaheim and Chicago are headed. The East is... none of their teams are actually, at least none of their good teams are really all that young, and Montreal's not really that young anymore. It seems like the teams that are turning the corner maybe more have young pieces with a core that is a little bit more balanced. Yeah. Which makes sense. That's how it's supposed to work. So,
no, my answer there was probably in Anaheim, just given a lot of the moves that they've made recently. Again, you've got a young star who's performing really well, like a Leo Carlson, but a lot of what they're doing, like they're finally starting to climb out of that hole and making themselves like a bigger presence. And I wouldn't consider them a stay this year, like you said, but in a 2 years from now, like I could see them being a serious contender.
For sure.
That's probably the biggest one on my radar.
A couple years away still, it feels like, I think. But
a
hot goalie can always change anything for anybody. One more from the Discord from Luke. If you could only re-sign one of Gerard or Lecky, who do you pick and for what amount? I think there's a couple ways you could go about this. Because my initial vibe was, you re-sign Lecky for sure. You keep Nathan McKinnon happy. They work. Of course, defensemen are more valuable, but the Avs have shown a good amount of flexibility in their defense. But Lecky is 30.
Yeah.
At the end of his next contract, he'll be 32. You do wonder a little bit the longevity there. How deep do you want to go into Lecky's 30s as a guy who's under 6 foot, not exactly the heaviest player in the world? I think it's fair to wonder about that and lean on the Gerard side of things just because of defense, again, being generally more valuable in the NHL, especially the Avs weirdly desperately needing left-handed defensemen right now. But I think either is a valid answer, to be honest.
I think I lean more... I keep going back and forth on it, but If I were to give you an answer right now, it's probably Arturi Lehkonen.
Yeah.
Just because of chemistry is hard sometimes. And I feel like in a situation like this, it doesn't really matter who's going to play next to a guy like Nathan MacKinnon. I mean, your performance is going to skyrocket. It generally does when playing next to a superstar like that. But I feel like we're having this conversation about the guy that I feel like you and I have said is the worst top six forward on the team. And this is still like a guy we're striving to keep because of what he provides. I mean, gritty guy in the net front, plays really, really well defensively on a top line who's known for their scoring. That's kind of my thought process.
Yeah,
there for that.
Again, I think both answers totally valid, so I'm here with you for that. Ilson in the chat asking how to join the Discord. If you are a diehard member, you can go to thednvr.com, go down to the diehard section of the access bar, I don't know what you would call it, and then go to the diehard lounge. The diehard lounge page will have a link to join the Discord and come chat it up with a bunch of us in the Avs Discord or other sports too. We got it all there, so go check that out. We do need to take our first break of the show here, so let's shout out our sponsors. I hit another bet on the last Avalanche game, and if you want to hit a few bets with our presenting sponsor too, get with Bet365. You don't even have to risk too much. When you sign up with the DNVR 365 code on the Bet365 app with a new account, you put in $10, you bet $5 on anything. You don't even have to hit that bet. Win or lose that bet, you get $150 in bonus bets to play with, and then you're playing with free money. It's just that easy with Bet365. So make sure you get in with them. You got a ton of different options, a bunch of boosted bets they have every single day. They give you a bunch of bonuses. The NHL has an early payout offer if you pick a team to win and they go up by 3 goals at any point in the game. Your bet hits. Win or lose at the end of the game, you still hit your bet on that one. So get in with them, put a couple bucks in, bet that $5, win or lose. You get $150 in bonus bets with code DNVR365. If you haven't gotten with Bet365 already, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. And then if you hit a couple of bets with Bet365, it might be time to hit up Dick's Sporting Goods. You can jump in with them for all of the newest apparel, including some huge brands with it when it comes to sneakers and otherwise, like Nike, Adidas, Originals, FP Movement, VRST, Calia, and more. Of course, they have all the sporting equipment you need: baseball, football, soccer, basketball, golf. They even have tailgating essentials, which in Denver, tailgating is in right now with the way the Broncos are playing. But maybe cooler than all of that is you can get yourself DNVR merch at your local Front Range Dick's Sporting Goods. So go support, rep the Avs or the Nuggets or the Broncos. I don't care which DNVR beat you rep, but you can get it from Dick's. They also guarantee you the best price. If you find a lower price somewhere else, they will match it. Get your gear fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dicks.com, because every season starts at Dick's, especially when you're in it for DNVR and looking for the DNVR merch. Get to Dicks.com or Dick's Sporting Goods today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I think I got all the ones from the Discord. I might have missed one or two. If I did, I'm sorry. Tag me and I'll answer you in text format. My bad. On to some of the Twitter questions we've had here. The Infernos, what 4Cs do you think the Avs could snipe before the deadline to really lock up the lineup? We also had a bunch of questions about like who should the Avs trade for, essentially, so we can kind of wrap all these in together. This is a cop-out answer. I am mostly on the train of like the Avs shouldn't trade for a 4C. They should trade for something better.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make yourself better, make yourself better. You can fill the 4C hole by getting a 2C and slotting guys down, or getting a 3C and slotting guys down the lineup. I don't know that you necessarily need to get into the weeds and try and figure out the best 4C in the world, where that the best 4C the Avs could have might actually just be Jack Drury, which is not, it's not that I want Jack Drury to get bumped down from the 3C spot, but that might just be what championship depth looks like.
Yeah. That was kind of my answer, is like, do they need to?
Yeah. The answer could genuinely be no.
Yeah. Like call me like lazy or cop out or whatnot, but like that, I really don't think that is a pressing issue. Like forward depth is really not something the Avs are struggling to find right now. If anything, they're trying to navigate already having that and figuring out, okay, who is the best player between, maybe a Bardakov who Bednar has even said has looked more and more solid the more games he's played with this team.
Yep.
I think that is the best case scenario is you don't need to go and find a 4C. Maybe you go and find a 3C, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know as though the Avs have any pieces to trade away that I'd be comfortable with.
Yeah.
For a 3C type situation.
The only piece that I think you feel like just is inevitably on the chopping block is probably Sam Malinsky. And if you move him, you need to replace him with a left-handed D, right? So it's not as simple as, just trade this guy for this guy. The Avs are going to have multiple moving pieces around at this deadline to make some of the moves that they want to make.
But even then, too, I'm like, Malinsky is playing some of the best hockey of his career.
He's been great. I think
now.
It's more of just a fit trade than anything Sam Malinsky has done. Like, Malinsky should have decent trade value because of that, if nothing else, so people can stop yelling at me about how we should trade Sam Malinsky for Sidney Crosby or something. And I'm like, that doesn't work.
That's your 3C.
Yeah. No, but he actually should have some value if you're looking at a legitimate 3C or something like that. So I do think it'll be interesting. I don't fully know. It's still too far away from the deadline. There's not enough teams that are like, we're selling yet to really have anything picked out. But I have no doubt the Avs have some ideas already. Mm-hmm. Next question from Travi. What's Bernie's favorite Thanksgiving dish?
I thought about this question way harder than I think I needed to. And the answer that I think I conclusively came to was stuffing.
Yeah, I that idea crossed my mind. Is it not just dog food?
Is that why they call them doggy bags when you bring them leftovers? That's valid. I don't know. I feel like stuffing's one of those like
it looks like
weird
dog
amalgamations of everything where I'm like, I know my dog would eat the heck out of this. So
not much my dogs would.
I don't know about you guys, but my family traditionally makes a Thanksgiving plate for the dogs. Same. So they get everything. But their favorite's probably the turkey. For sure. Or the mashed potatoes.
That's like a very regular thing for my family is my dad or my grandfather takes 30 minutes out of his day just to prepare this whole thing for my dogs are spoiled.
Same.
So giving a Thanksgiving dinner is not I don't know. That's not uncommon in my family.
My dog licks my plate every dinner. It's Greg in the chat, unanswerable question from back in the OG days. The opposite of a plumber. We need an actual job answer. You can't just say, "Oh, it's a clogger." That's not a job. That's not real.
Oh God, I have
what?
What?
Okay.
I said a husky.
What do we got next? Dan, if and when LOC and Val return and everyone is healthy, who goes to the press box? Bardakov and Brindley or Kivy? What circumstances would dictate Kivy or Brindley play? First of all, did we get a Brindley update from Bednar today?
No, he was at the doctor.
Yeah, that sounds about
when we talked to him after practice. He will not be going on the trip. So take with that.
Only 2 games.
Yeah, so I'm not super concerned about that. Neither is Kivy or Nichushkin. So none of the injured guys going, and that includes Gavin Brindley, which, sucks, but we should get an update on that once they get back after Sunday.
So some of this conversation might be whoever's healthy is playing initially. And this might depend on how long Brindley's out for. We don't really know. But as it stands, a healthy lineup, I don't see how you can take Brindley out of it.
Brindley is, if Brindley is not injured, he's in the lineup.
Yeah.
There is no chance or scenario in my mind that he is sitting up in the press box with us. And it's unfortunate, but like it's one of Kiviranta or Bardakov, if not both.
I think fully healthy, it's probably both. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's full stop.
Yep.
For me.
At this point, I mean, I just don't know how you put Kivy back in the lineup. Not that he isn't an experienced vet, not that you don't trust him, but Brindley has played too well to even consider sitting him. And it's...
Brindley has to fall off a cliff.
Right.
In terms of production.
Brindley was playing 14, 15 minutes a night. He was getting opportunities on the second line. There's already too much trust there with Bednar to sit him. And the Bardakov situation gets interesting, right? Because it's like, well, do you want to play him because he's a center? But I just don't think the trust is there from Bednar to keep him in the lineup.
Jared Bednar trusts Parker Kelly as a center more than he does Zakhar Bardakov.
By like a
which
lot.
Is, yeah. So that's not even a conversation here at this point. Like, and I don't think any of us would disagree, Parker Kelly included, saying like he prefers to play the wing, obviously. But that's going back to our 4C conversation. And if that's what they end up running, they don't go out and get a better 3C or whatever. Like that's likely the configuration they run into this with. Even Bednar mentioned during his presser after practice today, he was like, I don't see our team changing much come deadline.
Yeah, and it's like, of course, if there's opportunities to get better, you get better. But like, do you really need to add another guy so that Gavin Brindley is your 13th forward? Like, maybe not.
And again, with the work ethic, with the way that he plays on the ice, and you know, as a small guy playing as big as he does, you don't. I mean, yeah, obviously, maybe you'd want a bigger guy, but I don't see how you can look at that and say like, I don't want that guy playing.
Yeah,
with what he's brought to the team.
I think really injuries may dictate what the Avs do at the deadline more than anything else, to be honest. So, yeah, fair enough. I think we answered that one. Sure. Yeah, which left-sided D-man would you target for the third pair? It's too early I think, to really be honing in on this. Again, there might not be enough people available. I would be remiss. The Discord would get mad at me if I didn't at least mention Parker Wotherspoon. So I got to throw his name out there.
I think Pavel Minchyakov's in an interesting situation.
Do you really think he's available, though?
According to rumors, he's potentially eyeing a trade.
I mean, I'm interested. I feel like the cost would be way high.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely if it makes you better and you can make it happen.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I wonder if maybe like the only situation I could think is a Sam Malinsky being part of that trade. Or you get rid of some of your...
Has to be, yeah.
And that's just like the top end of it too. Like I can't imagine if maybe something else from the Eagles is included in that. And
pick, whatever.
They've started to kind of get in a point where they've got more draft picks coming up to that. I don't know. With all of that said, like I'm intrigued.
I think it's fair. Like obviously the Avs cupboards are thin, especially when it comes to actual prospects. But I think they quietly have a little bit more ammo than people think because...
Jack O'Shawn was great in the games that he played, I thought.
Not only that, but yeah, they don't really have any picks in this year's draft. But you look at next year's draft, they have their first. They have 2 seconds. They have their first in 2028. And the modern NHL, or certainly at least the last couple of years of the NHL, we've seen teams be a lot more willing to go that extra year out to get that first round pick or whatever it might be. So... I don't think the Avs are necessarily lacking for ammo. Of course, you can't do this forever. You're going to run out eventually. But I think people have overblown just how thin it is for Colorado.
No. And maybe this is just, you know, situationally, we're in a good spot where we get to watch a lot of these guys somewhat closely. Like, I mean, Loveland's a couple hours away, but not like close enough to where we can keep an eye on
Gushkin's got to get his shot with Brindley out, you would think, right?
But like that's what I'm saying though, is a lot of these reporters who are looking at, you know, farm depth and things of that sort severely underestimate just how good this prospect system is. The Colorado Eagles are one of the top teams in the AHL right now.
Yep. To be fair, I think a lot of that is predicated off of AHL veterans and things like that.
Fair.
But they're finding value out of a guy like a Tristan Nielsen. Right. The Avs have done a very good job of getting that value out of maybe unexpected places.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to get into what do you call a legitimate prospect? Is a 25-year-old unsigned guy a prospect? I don't know, but
what's that line of NHL likelihood? And yeah,
a tough fit there. Mason Laura out of Boston getting mentioned. Would be interesting, but Boston's a tough sell right now, right? Mm-hmm. They're playing too well to really be considered a seller today. What do the next 2 months look like, and where do we are in February? Maybe that's more of a conversation, but today I doubt it.
Yeah.
We do need to take our second break of the show, so let's make sure we hit up a couple more of our sponsors. And I like having a job and having money, so yeah. I don't buy tickets to sporting events that often anymore, but when I do, I use Game Time because it's just the best way to do it. When you sign up with the Game Time app and use code DNVR today, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Of course, terms apply there, but the Game Time app has tons of different ways to find you the best deals, whether it's last-minute ticket deals, the section selector, or you can just search for the tickets you want and use the Game Time Picks feature to filter out all of the junk and only find the best tickets for the best price for you. Whatever your sporting event, whether it be the NHL, whether it be the NFL, whether it be the NBA, or honestly, even if you want to go to concerts and theaters, does not even have to be a sport. Game Time has you covered. Again, when you sign up with that DNVR code, you get $20 off your first purchase. Game Time even guarantees you'll get the best tickets for the best price. If you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, Game Time will reimburse your account 110% of the ticket price. So go get with Game Time today. Tap Ticket Go and join over 15 million people that get their tickets through Game Time. And once you got your tickets through Game Time, you're going to need a way to get to the game, and that's where the official vehicle of DNVR comes in with Toyota. They're also the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche, and they have a vehicle for everyone, whether it be trucks that have been in their DNA for generations, or you can get your SUVs like the 4Runner, a sedan that's an option too. Whatever it is, they have 17 different vehicles with all-wheel drive to make sure you're safe and secure on the roads, or if you like to go off-road, and it covers that too. If you're just looking to save a couple of bucks on gas with your daily commute, they have 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from. They offer more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker in the business. So jump in with Toyota today. Again, the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and the official vehicle of DNVR. You can visit your local Front Range Toyota stores, including AutoNation Toyota, Rapo and Centennial, Gorman Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, again, the official vehicle of us here at DNVR. Let's go places. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's keep the questions rolling. Also, chat, if you have any live questions you want us to answer, throw them down in the chat, and maybe we'll have time. I don't know how many questions are left. Kurt, let's see your Olympic team predictions. I'm not 100% sure what you mean, whether it be rosters or who's going to win.
I don't have time to make all the rosters. I'm sorry.
That would be so many graphics.
I feel like let's just go through who wins it. Like who gets gold?
Canada.
Yeah. I feel like that's a shoe-in for me.
Normally, I would love to pick someone else, but when they haven't been to the Olympics in this long, Canada is going to be so unbelievably motivated to win this Olympics, and I do not think anyone can stop them, especially because all of the American goalies are imploding.
Yeah. No, it seems like the rosters from a depth standpoint are still consistently changing. A lot of goaltenders maybe making or inserting themselves into conversations for Team Canada, especially. It's hard not to kind of gear towards them. As much as, being American, maybe I'd like to see the USA bring home a medal, but
they can get silver. It's fine.
That silver's okay.
They just have to not lose to Finland or Sweden, which they might.
That Finland roster is looking a little, maybe challenging.
They're quietly good on the national stage. Mm-hmm. They always are.
Yeah.
For the Avs, Canada's probably the one to watch because McKinnon, Makar, and Taves are all definitely making that team. So that's going to be fun.
If Brock Nelson picks up his stuff
probably should make
USA. Yeah.
There's conversations are swirling that Scott Wedgwood might make Team Canada.
That's why I'm like the depth in Team Canada and the amount of people who are inserting themselves in conversations for spots that maybe were not there for them a couple weeks ago. That's what makes Canada like sneaky good for me.
Their depth is just outrageous.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
Versus Finland, who were maybe struggling to fill their roster.
Yeah.
For 4 nations.
At the bottom of that thing. It gets a little rough at times, but lots of other fun stuff for the Avs. Natchez will certainly make Czechia. Lehkonen probably makes Finland still. He was there for 4 nations, so I would expect he makes the team.
I can't imagine a roster without him on it.
Yeah. And then, of course, Landeskog is captain of Sweden, so. Your guess is as good as mine on the silver and the bronze. I think any of Sweden, Finland, and the U.S. could do it.
I think for me, Canada and U.S. are a lock for
medals
gold
at
and
very
silver.
least. Yeah. I would agree. You never know though. Sometimes Czechia or someone can sleeper themselves in there a little bit and pick up a medal.
Yep.
All right. I hope we sort of answered your question.
I mean, we still talked a little roster.
Yeah, we got some in there.
Something in
I'm
there.
not going to go line by line of Canada because that'll just make me sad that America doesn't have that caliber of players. But
maybe that's a show for a different day. I don't know.
When we get closer to the Olympics, we'll get more into it. But what's next? Colorado Avs champ. I'm curious to know Manson's analytics since he played apart from Girard so much this season for obvious reasons. Yeah, I did look this up before the show, and Manson's numbers are very, very good this year. Him and Brent Burns are the top 2 possession defensemen for the Colorado Avalanche. And some of that is even more so than normal. Makar and Taves have been taking the hardest matchups because of the jumbled up bottom 4 of the Avs D. But Manson has been excellent this year. I would argue in the regular season, this has been probably the best stretch of hockey Manson has played in Colorado. And I know maybe the offensive numbers aren't quite there to the numbers that you would like, even if he does put in some good offensive shifts at times. But Manson has been excellent for the Avs here. There is still the occasional big mistake that has always been part of Manson's game is never going to fully go away. That's just part of who he is. But really, really good stuff from Manson. The physicality has been there, the quality defense. There's another question that I know we're going to get to that I think someone like Josh Manson plays a very Dave Hakstol type of defense.
That's fair. No, I think, analytically, obviously, he's been great. And if he can continue down the season, I know he is a little more injury prone, or one of the more injury prone guys on this team.
You're expecting that to happen at some point.
That's going to happen. Like, that is not an if, unfortunately. And I say that with all the love in the world for a guy like Josh Manson, who is, possession numbers, great. He provides a physicality that is not many people on this, or players on this team have been able to match yet. Like, he's been a steady physical presence that I think they've needed, and he's taken a step up in that part of his game, I think, as well this season, which has been pleasant to watch.
If you could keep one punching, guys, that'd be fun.
Oh my God. I want to, that's my next question to him is, do you practice that? But no, it's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's another one of those situations, like, shuffling around the decor is inevitable in some games, just given how Bednar works, and maybe some games that the Avalanche aren't playing all that well, and you need to find a spark from somewhere. So I wonder if we see Manson, Girard a little down the stretch and kind of seeing how that works. But as of right now, the way that Burns is playing too next to him, like, it's hard for me to break that line up.
Their numbers are way, way too good. I know it's weird that it's like, oh, who really plays the left on this pairing,
right,
and what do you do? But if the numbers are good, don't mess with it.
No. So. And that's a whole other situation too, is like, this is not a position Josh Manson is normally used to.
No.
So the fact that his numbers have been this good, and he, like, not just analytically, but to the eye test, has looked, for the most part, really, really solid.
Just to run through a couple of the numbers, and I know someone asked about like a simple rundown of some advanced statistics and what these things mean. Corsi for, or CF, also CA for Corsi against, that just means shot attempts for and against. Corsi for percentage is what percentage of shot attempts are for versus against. Josh Manson, 56.23% Corsi for, which is very, very good, especially for a second pairing defenseman. Excellent possession numbers. You can look through some of these other things like expected goals for, which is XGF, expected goals against, XGA. That is just based on the shot attempts that happened on the ice, how many goals are expected to go in when that player is on the ice. It's a indicator of maybe long-term success and failure, because shooting percentages and save percentages can skew actual goals going in the net regardless of the quality of your play. Expected goals for Josh Manson, 15 expected for, 10 expected against in his 5-on-5 time. So he's expected to be net +5 as far as the on-ice results are concerned. Dominant in nearly every category, and some of that is the Colorado Avalanche have been extremely dominant when it comes to possession numbers. But Manson in particular, I think where he has shined, high danger goals for and high danger goals against, that just is exactly what it sounds like. The high danger chances, generally considered to be inside the home plate area, which is from the goal out to the face-off dots and across. In that area is high dangers. When Manson's on the ice, Avs 10 high danger goals for, only 3 against.
Yeah.
So for a guy who is expected as a defensive defenseman, he's absolutely doing his job in limiting what other teams are getting while he's on the ice.
Yeah. I don't know as though I have much to add on that front.
Yep. I guess we can move on to the next question. Dean, do you see anything specific or different this year that you'd attribute to the addition of Dave Hakstol?
Offensive production?
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because a lot of him was supposedly brought in to replace Ray Bennett, who's the power play coach. The power play is still bad.
Yeah.
No one's going to sit here and tell you that it's good. But when it is playing at its best, it does look a lot more active with players' feet. I do think Hakstol has come in and tried to activate Marty Necas, which in turn has at times helped Nathan MacKinnon move all over the ice. I do think things look a little bit different there when it's good. The Avs still fall into some stagnancy and the problems that their power plays always had, though.
Well, and even multiple players across the entire lineup, too, is mentioned, even at 5-on-5.
Oh, yeah.
He's been huge.
Yep.
In terms of trying to activate them offensively, which just goes to show the reach that he has across this team already, the trust that Bednar's given to him in helping change this team for the better. I don't think there's a lot more that goes into this team being as dominant as it is, and I think Dave Hakstol is absolutely a factor in that.
And I do think it's worth noting that the Avs team defense has markedly improved this year, and I think some of that is Dave Hakstol. I think a lot of that is the Avs are just a super hungry team and really, really good. But I do think there is some additions that Dave Hakstol has added, particularly in zone defense for the Colorado Avalanche, that we've seen improve. The Avs have been much better along the walls and limiting. For this era of the Avalanche, they've always been really good at being in passing lanes and putting sticks in places to stop plays from happening that way. But I think there's been a physical edge that Dave Hakstol has encouraged to help this team be more effective at winning puck battles along the boards, or maybe not winning puck battles, but preventing those pucks from getting to dangerous areas.
Yeah. No, I would agree. So it's a pleasant surprise. I love that. I loved the addition when they announced it, and I think he's done what he can with the power play. I think at this point, which is crazy to say, 20 games in. But that'll work itself out. I'm not super worried about that. But again, the individual work that he's done with a lot of these guys.
I think there's a lot of good stuff there. At the end of the day, if the power play sucks, maybe it's his head on a chopping block. I don't know. But I agree with Mindreader in the chat. We're only half joking when we say Nathan MacKinnon's the power play coach.
Yeah. No, I mean, Dave Hakstol all but said it in his preseason presser. Is like he's working with the talent that he has.
Yep.
There's not much, like he can do like some positional coaching and things of that sort, but multiple players have mentioned like how smart a lot of these top guys are that maybe aren't showcased during pressers or out in practice, and seeing some of the vision that they have on this ice and what they're able to do with the puck, it's pretty much just Dave Hakstol working with the talent that he has and improving where he can, but for the most part, giving a lot of these guys a really long leash in how they perform on the ice.
Yeah, the Avs have certainly earned some long leashes through the first 20 games. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I feel like that's a no-brainer. So I don't know. It's pleasant to watch. I will say.
It is. Avs are absolute blast this year. Let's keep it rolling. What do we got next? Katie asks, which will be the most improved by the end of the season? The power play, Gabe Landeskog scoring, or ice time for the fourth line?
This is easy for me. Landy scoring. Like that is a very easy answer for me.
I want it to be the power play, but I think you're right. I think Landy scoring is probably...
And again, I'm not worried too much about the power play. If it still sucks by game 50, I'm asking a few more questions, but they've shown that they can look good. It's, I think, just a matter of consistency for them at this point. But Landy's started to get on the board a little bit more. He's starting to take that step forward when it comes to his scoring already. And not that it's taken a step back. He's gotten some really unlucky callbacks.
Landy is on like an all-time cursed bender this season. Like, if he had the goals taken away from him counted, and keep in mind, 2 of those 3 were called good goals on the ice that have to be overturned.
Yep.
If he had 5 goals, he'd be on a 20-goal pace right now, and I don't think that we'd be all that concerned about it. So, the power play, I do think will get better, but we're like talking about the range of it might get 9 to 10% better instead of where we were earlier in the season, where it's like this could be 15% better than it is now.
Fourth line minutes.
Fourth line's not getting minutes.
No.
Sorry.
Nope.
Hate to break it to you. It's not happening.
The amount that Bednar talks about shortening the bench after every game and just like knowing Bednar the way that we do, it's not changing.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, I agree.
At all.
I think we have a couple more from Twitter. Eddie asked if you could pick anywhere to have an outdoor game, but what if you got to pick anywhere fictional to have one?
Again, this is another one of those questions that I fell asleep thinking about because I'm like, I don't know what I'd pick. Like I feel like such a nerd when I say this too, because like I am a big reader, and so like I think of a lot of those places I've read about. Like I think of it, like space was my first answer, and being like, I don't know how it would work, but that'd be awesome. But I don't know. Like I think of like a sci-fi situation, like Hunger Games. Like imagine having like a weird arena to play in where like I think of Catching Fire and like something happens on the hour and you make like an ultimate hockey type situation. I don't know. Like I'm getting really probably way more creative with it than I probably should. I think of like my favorite book, Fourth Wing, and like how cool would it be to see dragons flying over the ice like when the guys are playing? Like that'd be I don't know. It's such a nerd answer.
Yeah, like, I look like 3 that one theoretically real, and I don't know what it would take necessarily, but like you see those YouTube videos of like people playing a tennis match on like a helicopter pad 200 feet in the air or whatever. Put a hockey rink up there would be sick. And then the 2 like sci-fi ones, I want to see one in like nondescript. You pick whatever your favorite space sci-fi is on like a ship with gravity.
Star Trek
totally.
type thing.
Like the hockey at warp speed.
Oh my God.
And then the Shire.
Lord of the Rings. I don't know why I didn't think of Hogwarts here too. I love the Quidditch field mention and like that whole view situation of like
right, but they all have to
Scotland.
Like ride brooms the whole time. Then like
I can imagine like I go back to the Stadium series, Vegas versus Avs, and I just think of like oh no with Nathan McKinnon going on a broom.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No. Brooms would get smashed for sure.
Oh yeah.
Zora's Domain, great shout out from Azure. Absolutely love that choice. My favorite game of all time, by the way.
Okay.
Zelda? One of my favorite games.
I could see it. Yeah. I like that.
Tiff with the Hoth Star Wars. I feel like Hoth might actually be too cold.
Oh my God, Mustafar? That'd be fucking crazy. That ice would be so melting.
It's the Lake Tahoe all over
Hockey
again.
in the desert with two suns.
Look, you go sci-fi enough and you can get like the space blades, right? You don't even really need ice at that point. You can skate on anything, so...
Oh, gosh, I think it like Tron, you could go and like the like crazy bikes. That'd be cool.
All right.
There's sand and gets everywhere. It'd be annoying.
Okay, Anakin.
Oh my God,
down.
the Avatar reference too. Can I shout that?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Lots of good fantasy hocky choices. All right, why
Love
aren't there
it,
more
love it.
hockey and fantasy books? This is what we're learning today.
Let me talk with some of my author connections, see what I can make happen.
Book talk, make it happen.
It was so funny too when the fourth wing day happened. I had a couple of the media members come up to me too, and they were like, "You're talking about this book," and I thought it was like fantasy, hockey, military. Like I thought it was all of these things, and I had to be like, "No, I don't think that exists."
There's too many things glomming together in this one.
No.
Two more, and then we'll have a couple from chat as well. Lindsay, with Avalanche and the Stars being the top two, what is making the Avs the strongest team? I mean, they only have one regulation loss. I don't know that you need to look much further than that. But you look at the Avs top to bottom.
Depth.
Yeah, it's star power and depth, I think. Their depth is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any argument against that. But you look at someone like Dallas. Hey, Mikko Rantanen's having a great season for them.
Yeah.
He has one more point than Marty Necas and 7 less points than Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah. 28 points on the season. McKinnon's got 36. Netchus is at... Oh, so Netchus and Rantanen are at the same point when it comes to points.
Same point. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So same point total. Netchus has 3 more goals.
And so finishing a little bit better. Robertson also having a well and productive year, but not quite on the caliber of those top guys. So you have Nathan MacKinnon above and beyond everyone.
I love that we're saying that too. And Robertson has 2 less points than Mikko Rantanen, which is,
That's like almost double digits behind McKinnon at this point.
Yeah, which is fair.
But I think, and I talked about this in my review of last game, what really separates the Avs is they have the triumvirate, like the whole I don't know. Am I allowed to make this symbol, or is this some BS that people stole? It's just a triangle. It's just a triangle.
The trifecta is there.
You have Necas, McKinnon, and then Makar as the third corner of the triangle, and no one has that third piece the way the Avs have.
No, and I love what both Gabe and Coach had to say in the last 24 hours about like, we should be lucky to be able to watch this.
Yep.
Like even Gabe was like, I sit back and I think about like how cool it is to have these guys on the team. And he called us out too and said like, you guys, I would hope are thinking the same thing. And we are really lucky to have those 3 guys, at least 2 of which are locked up for a little while, one of which will be here soon. Like it's really, really cool to watch. But no, I would agree with you. Like that, the star power is the big one, I think, for everybody. But the depth, like I go back to that. Like, top, they're great. Like immediately have the leg up on Dallas. But to bottom too, like through goaltending, Dallas has Jake Ottinger, which he's one of my favorite goaltenders to watch. Like I love watching Jake Ottinger, but behind him, the Avs have
Casey
2
DeSmith.
2 guys who, one of which is coming back from injury, and he's 2-0-1.
Pretty good.
And in the 2 games he's played.
Pretty good.
Since being back. Like I think that's what sets it apart for me.
Yeah. The Avs are just the best at everything right now.
Yep.
We'll ask again in a month. We'll see where things are, but maybe the Avs are still just the best at everything. One more question, I think, from Twitter. When our new goalie arrives this spring, do you try to pawn off Blackwood to the Oilers? Absolutely not.
No.
Don't get me wrong. Nabokov may well be the goalie of the future for the Colorado Avalanche, but
it's not going to be this year.
Not going to be this year. It's probably
not going to be next year.
Yeah, when it comes to a starter conversation, definitely not going to be next year. It might not even be the year after that. And the Avs have already committed to Blackwood with the 5-year deal that he's currently on now. So Blackwood's the guy in Colorado.
Yeah.
So
I could maybe see him getting a game or two
totally
with Colorado once he gets over here, or with the Avalanche specifically. But after that, like he's going to be a mainstay next year. And Bednar has said as much too. Like that's one of the biggest reasons why you sign Wedgwood to the deal that you do. Like he's played too well this season to not have that conversation of, oh, if we could have our goaltender from the future develop in North America for a year and not have to worry about throwing him right into the proverbial deep end of hockey.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. And so that's, I'm kind of in that boat too. Like development is something the Abs, I think, have struggled with over the last couple of years. And if you can take the time to not make that mistake with what could very well be your franchise goaltender of the future, like that's huge.
Yeah. No need to rush it. They've got Blackwood. They're going to stick with Blackwood for the immediate.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have a couple questions from chat to get to quickly here too. What team fires their coach and hires DeBoer first? AJ and I talked about this the other day, and my answer to that is the Cronkies have billions of dollars. Just pay off Pete DeBoer to not come back this year.
I mean, yeah. Can he stay out of the NHL? For at least this year.
At least
like I don't care if he comes back next year, but this year.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I have no clue. Could St. Louis be in that conversation already? Could Calgary be in that conversation?
I don't think they're firing Monty. Calgary maybe.
Calgary is probably, if he's going to go anywhere, like go back to his roots in Canada and do, I don't know.
AJ said Buffalo. If I was Pete DeBoer, I'd turn down Buffalo. I'd get a job somewhere else.
There's better jobs for you to take there, buddy. I don't know how much he's going to help that organization. But I don't know.
And then Scott, do you think an outdoor tournament could work? They would count as regular season games, but I don't know. An original 6 long weekend outdoor tournament seems cool. It seems like a cool idea, an event that I want nothing to do with.
Yeah. No, I mean, it could. If that's what maybe they turn a Four Nations into some sort of outdoor situation just because of how big it was.
Yeah.
Last time they did it, I would like to see it. That would be cool. I'm a big proponent of outdoor games anyway, though. Like I love outdoor games. I love the environment. I love the community. And if you can get more eyes on hockey that way, butts and seats, like I'm okay with that.
There are certainly a lot of cool things you could do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stickler for the quality of the hockey, and I think the
anti-fun.
Rudo. I am. I'm the fun hater.
Anti-fun.
That's fine. I'll be the fun hater on this one. All sports should be played indoors at all times, even like
they're
golf.
Doing that with the Cowboys stadium too. So like that's. I had that debate with one of my friends earlier too. I was like, I feel like. Yes, the name is Stadium Series, but like by unofficial definition, that should be outside. Yeah. I don't know.
No, keep it indoors. What are other sports I can bring indoors?
Boo.
F1, inside F1. Some tennis is played indoors. They used to like do it more with like the weird carpet surface thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Yacht racing.
Absolutely. Indoors. Like... They do kayaking in the Olympics now inside.
Yeah. I want to know how much money would go into recreating those rapids and making that happen. That'd be.
Look, Dubai has a ski resort inside in the middle of the desert, so it's doable.
Okay.
Maybe not financially reasonable, but doable.
Maybe not environmentally sustainable.
Olympics, get on it. I don't know. You got anything else?
Your boyfriend asks, if you were to grade refereeing this season, would it be an F or a Z?
He's got some thoughts on this.
It's not good. It's not good.
Is it the worst this year that it's been in the last few? Because I remember last year being really bad, especially with the playoffs.
The thing is... And this is funny coming from the Avalanche, who I think have had some egregious calls not go their way. But I think last year there were a lot more of the egregious, like, you're just wrong. Like, you're just getting calls wrong. This year, I think it's been a lot more of a conversation about the lack of consistency from the reffing. That's so bad.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
pick your poison on that one. They're not getting a passing grade from me. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. They're failing either way. It's just how monumentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, that's understandable.
Yeah, we made it.
Nice.
That's the end of the show. Super late one from MV who says, outside Natchez' shooting percentage, PK being fire, and Wedgwood having a career year, are there any other standout unsustainable stats from the Avs? I mean, Nathan McKinnon is not going to be a 65 goal scorer, most likely.
I need to go look at his face-off stats too. Are we still considering that an unsustainable?
Probably
49.4% on the season so far.
Much more reasonable. And the Avs have drifted to like mid-pack and face-offs, which for them is still pretty good. So we take that. Yeah, I do think there are some unsustainable things. Victor Olofsson's probably not going to continue to produce points at the rate that he has. I think it's 15 points in 20 games now.
Yep.
You expect that to turn down a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. The Avs could just score 4 goals a game. I could be wrong about that.
No.
Anyway, we are already in overtime, so we are going to wrap up this show. We appreciate all y'all asking questions and being part of the show. This is why we do this thing. Y'all are always awesome, and we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365, and we got a back-to-back, so we will see you this weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.